How many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh, it's fine, everything in moderation," when they reach for that other slice of cake or another cookie or a glass of wine, uh, another glass of wine, right? Or they're skimping on their sleep again or skipping a workout. And it might seem harmless, but what if I told you that this common example of a one size fits all advice could really be sabotaging your health? Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, epigenetic human performance coach. This is where we discuss all things lifestyle, environment, food, exercise, work, mind, and social interaction as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone. So if you're ready to start viewing you as an individual, take control of your life and health, and get results, buckle up, here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable Mini. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, and here's where we talk about everything lifestyle and environment, how it relates to genetics expression in a shorter span of time with just me. So today, we're going to talk about that phrase that I detest. I'm going to tell you why. Quote, everything in moderation. And I always say that saying has kept me in business. But we're going to talk about that today because how many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh, it's fine, everything in moderation," when they reach for that other slice of cake or another cookie or a glass of wine, uh, another glass of wine, right? Or they're skimping on their sleep again or skipping a workout. And it might seem harmless, but what if I told you that this common example of a one size fits all advice could really be sabotaging your health? This is where epigenetics comes into play. Epigenetics, again, how lifestyle and environment affect how your genes express. So today we're going to unpack why the everything in moderation quote is not only misleading, but it's actually harmful for some people, and how understanding your unique biology can help you make better choices. So buckle up and off I go. From what I could find, the origin of the phrase everything in moderation was most likely derived from ancient philosophies like Aristotle's, quote, golden mean, which emphasized balance. It's culturally appealing because it sounds reasonable and it sounds non restrictive, which I think makes it easier for people. I think it creates an excuse. Oh, everything in moderation. But why really is it so popular? And two of the biggest reasons that I think it's so popular are: number one, it removes guilt and responsibility. It's so much easier to do something that you know isn't good for your mind, body, or soul if it's just this time or it's not all the time. And I hear that one a lot when I ask a client if they've thought about eliminating something that we know is not working for them. They know is not working for them. And it'll be like, but it's not every day. And so by saying it's not an everyday thing, that creates a moderation. And for that reason, it's more acceptable. It's more acceptable to them. And again, it's not just clients. I hear this all the time. I've heard people on the hiking trails, oh, it's in moderation. So the second reason is it's really easy to apply without critically thinking about your individual needs. So what could this really be doing to me? What might the potential repercussions be if I do this or eat this or drink this? If I tell myself it's moderation, then it really can't be bad. And then I don't have to look at the potential dark side. That might mean actually having to make changes or admitting that there might be a problem. And again, the biggest things I see this with are alcohol and food. Some with exercise, but the exercise will tend to be either more of an extreme of either
I only do it a couple of weeks or a couple days a week because it's moderation, or the endurance people who are like, they have to train. It's just the people that are so driven. A lot of my crusaders, activators that need that movement, and it's too much. But they're like, it's not every day. So I'm going to tell you why I think the term moderation itself is flawed. Number one, I love these lists. It makes it easy to keep me on track because you see, I can pull my Robin Williams and be all over the place. And it's 145 activator people. my, my BFF, same way. We were just talking earlier. She's, I can't keep track. And I go, it's being a 145 activator. We get it. Number one, moderation ignores individual biology. So epigenetics shows us and teaches us that our genes are not our destiny. We're in control. I have preached that on here for well over a year and a half. Our genes are influenced by our environment, our lifestyle, and what we're thinking, right? So what's moderate for one person can really be toxic for another. It's as simple as that. For example, somebody with a genetic predisposition to gluten sensitivity or celiac, hello, yours truly, cannot consume even moderate amounts of gluten without harm. So when you say to that person, what's moderation? Won't this is one time okay? Come on. Yeah, it's not okay. Somebody with a slow caffeine metabolism, and again, this is me again, might experience anxiety or insomnia from a small cup of coffee or even like some chocolate that has caffeine in it. Anything that does, like we tend to be a lot more sensitive. And so moderation can really be unfriendly. And then somebody with a predisposition to alcohol abuse, or if they already have an existing problem, they can get set off with one drink, one sip. So moderation, not an option there, right? So it's not right for everybody. Interesting statistic here. Research shows that up to 30% of the population has some form of food intolerance or sensitivity. That makes moderation a pretty dangerous gamble. Now, we could go into, gee, why does 30% of the population have some form of food intolerance or sensitivity? Lifestyle, right? Creates that stuff a lot of the time. But we're not going to go there. So now we get to number two, normalizes moderation, quote the word, normalizes harmful behaviors. So moderation often becomes an excuse for indulgence. If, for example, you're eating processed sugar every day, like you're having your sweet treat, or maybe you're doing your sweet treat every other day, right? Because that's moderation to you, or just once a day. It's not multiple times. You're still exposing your body to chronic inflammation, potential for insulin resistance, potential for prediabetes, right? Other long-term risks. It'll affect your lipids down the road, metabolic, hormones. So again, is that something you want to gamble with? Another statistic. The average American consumes a whopping 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily. And the recommended, this alone makes me sick. The recommended 6 to 9 teaspoons. Do you know how much that is? That's ridiculous. Why are we having 6 to 9 teaspoons of sugar? Oh my God. Talk about trying to keep people sick. So even what's considered, quote, moderate sugar intake can lead to metabolic dysfunction over time. And with 1 in 3 adults and kids being pre-diabetic, this is ridiculous. Okay. So moderation in these cases, no. So you think about every little celebration for whatever you're celebrating, holiday, birthday, graduation, promotion, engagement, divorce, whatever, stress binge eating, all of these this is not moderation. It adds up. Okay. And that's what I'm going to get into next, but it's adding to the risk of metabolic issues. And My other little soapbox I'm just going to briefly get on here is, why do we have to celebrate all these things with sugary treats like cakes? I just had my birthday last week and it's like, go eat cake. Here you go. Like, I don't want cake. I'm going to go do this crazy incline workout, this crazy hike. And why do I want to put crap in my body after I'm doing something good? Or why do I want to put crap in my body anyway to celebrate? I'm going to celebrate doing something healthy. It's the mindset that we need to change. And that's around this moderation. Third thing is it overlooks the cumulative effect of these small choices. And this is what I really try to work with my clients when they want to make changes, that these little things add up. So every choice we make, and I've said this over and over, what we eat, how we move, when we eat and when we move, how we manage stress, it adds up over time. Even the small, seemingly harmless habits can trigger negative genetic expression if they're repeated often enough. And that's the concept of epigenetic load. Also, everybody's got some good genes. You're dialing down good genes over time with these little things that add up, right? So, a moderate amount, again, I'll use alcohol for an example here. A moderate amount might not seem harmful, but somebody with that predisposition to, say, liver issues or poor alcohol metabolism. Again, I see this in DNA reports. The more you know, it can have really serious consequences. The instance of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, as I've talked about in previous podcasts, is skyrocketing, but there's still that chance of alcoholic fatty liver disease. So these choices add up. And the next reason, pretty simply, it's just not right for everybody. And it's downright dangerous for other people. So specific populations where moderation fails, people with chronic illnesses and autoimmune conditions. And I've got that. Lyme, autoimmune, right? This is why I am so stringent on my behaviors and why moderation for me just isn't an option, because I don't want to trigger my Lyme. I don't want to trigger my autoimmune, my celiac. I don't. So we have control. And the more you tell yourself that, hey, this moderation's okay, if you have these conditions, the more you're feeding it. And the more you're just making excuses to not make the changes. That's the hard truth. It fails with those with addictive tendencies. And I'm not talking just alcohol here. It could be nicotine. It could be the vaping. It could be weed. It could be sugar, right? Anything. You can be addicted to pretty much anything. So you have to be careful there. Athletes or high performers who need precision and not generalities. So if you are training for performance, it's not everything in moderation. You have to dial the hell in. You want to perform, and that takes precision training, precision coaching, right? If your coach just says, hey, go do what you want, as long as it's all in moderation, you're going to show up on the field or on that ice or wherever it is and be at the top of your game. 100%, I guarantee you're not. Another interesting statistic. Studies show that 40% of chronic diseases are preventable through personalized lifestyle changes, not vague moderation. So if you want change, you have to dial in. This is why when people come and work with me, when you do the things you're designed to do at the times you're designed to do them, precise to you, and you work that program, my people get results and they start getting results fast. It's crazy. That's personalized. If I said, and I used to coach on the moderation or on just like paleo and moderation, didn't get the results I get now, reversing chronic diseases. Okay. So what is the alternative? Precision and personalization, right? Epigenetics, great. It allows us to understand what's optimal for each individual. So while you have some people that thrive on a really high fat diet, others actually need more carbs. So carbs aren't always the bad guy. They might be for some people. It's just not usually the people you think that they are, that they're good for. And timing, right? A night owl eating late, they're going to process food very differently than somebody who is an early riser eating late. Super important. How do we move beyond moderation? So, what I want you to start doing, I want you to start asking yourself questions. What's right for me? Instead of just defaulting to everything in moderation. The reason I do these podcasts is not to preach. It's not to say you're good, you're bad, this choice is good, this choice is bad, because we're all different. I'm trying to help you create awareness to live a better quality of life and have better health. Because if you lose your health, you lose your quality of life. And then why are we here? You're not going to see your kids thrive. You're going to be spending retirement in the doctor's office, in the hospital, on medications, countless medications. I think it's most Goldens. I just heard this the other day. I think they're on an average of 9 medications. I could be wrong. It's 5 or 9, but 5, 9, it's too many. It's ridiculous. This is how we're okay with living. If you are, that's okay. That's you. But I think the people that tune into this podcast, for the most part, not okay with living that way. We want better for ourselves and our families. And if we're not optimal for ourselves, we're not fully present with our families at work or those we love. So that's why this is important. Start asking really, again, what's right for me? Get a DNA test. You can come to me. There's other reports out there, but with me, we actually go over it. So you actually understand it. You understand you and what these things mean. I see so many people, I got results back and I don't know what they mean. But you can work with anybody or an epigenetic coach, me or someone like me to help you best understand your unique needs because they are unique because you are. Start tracking how different foods, activities, and habits make you feel. My people, they do a journal. I have my guy, Cal. I don't know if his podcast will have run by now. Cal, every week for 4 months now, he sends me his food, drink intake, blood pressure, glucose, activities, all of it. And then he tells me how he feels. And you know what? It's so easy to look and say, oh, we can see what this does. Look how this affects your blood sugar. Look at these things. Feel, right? Don't wait for labs. Start thinking about how does this make me feel, good and bad, right? Pay attention to patterns in your energy, your mood, and your performance. I can tell if something's off just like as soon as I start up a mountain. I'm feeling good or I'm going, this is going to be a long, right? And I knew what I ate. Just maybe I ate too late. Maybe I ate too much and it affected my sleep. That has happened. So start paying attention. Your body gives you signals, your brain, all of it. The role of awareness and accountability is huge. Start emphasizing the importance of mindfulness in your life. When you know better, you do better. Moderation is a shortcut, but awareness is a superpower. Truth. I'm just going to go to the recap. I think I've drilled in enough. Like, I think you guys get it. Everything in moderation. It's outdated and it's oversimplified. And epigenetics shows us that health is so truly personal and unique. And what works for one person might actually harm another. So don't try to if you want to do everything in moderation, that's great. But don't try to push that on a friend or a loved one that might have issues. Moving beyond moderation means embracing precision, awareness, and the biggest thing, people, is accountability. We need more of this. So, my challenge for all of you listening who subscribe to this thinking of moderation is start exploring your unique health blueprint through tools like DNA testing, personalized coaching, or creating awareness around your thinking and resulting behaviors. If you don't, like, you need to ask why. If you don't want to change, ask yourself why. If you are like, I do want to make a change, ask yourself why. The why is always your biggest factor behind doing or not doing, acting or not acting on something. Ask a friend that you trust. You can run it by them. Kind of be a sounding board. My connectors, activators, guardians, do that. Or bounce them off a guardian, right? Even better. If you're a crusader or a diplomat or a censor, again, journaling, keeping track, data for you is huge. And you're going to see some big aha moments by keeping track of this kind of stuff. So your health is just too important to leave to vague advice. Advice needs to be as unique as you are, regardless of what it is. So just a few quick facts before I sign off. Epigenetics and lifestyle impact. Studies show that 70% of chronic diseases are influenced by lifestyle and environmental factors, not genetics alone. Captain Obvious hat back on. Alcohol and cancer risk. Even, quote, moderate alcohol consumption, I talked about this on my alcohol podcast, has been linked to an increased risk of breast and colorectal cancer. And as I said before, not just breast cancer in women, but men, it's a big factor. Sugar and inflammation. Chronic inflammation is often fueled by sugar, and sugar is a key driver of diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. So when you're going to pick up the cookie or guys are the best. Ice cream. All the guys got dudes and ice cream. There's something there. Think about when you go for that next bowl of ice cream. So hopefully, guys, I've given you some food for thought literally today. Share this. Let's get the ripple effect going to not push this quote anymore. Let's start as a group creating awareness, promoting personalized health solutions around the uniqueness of the individual that's going to result in better health and wellness outcomes. That's why I'm here. I want to see change. I want a happier, healthier humans. A healthier human population. I don't know. However I want to say that. I don't know. But you get where I'm coming from. Please share this podcast. Let's start this ripple effect. You can subscribe, go to my website, and you can learn more about personalized health. I wrote an ebook on personalized health that talks about this. It's short and it's free. And it'll be in the show notes, or you can go to my website at healthyawakening.co and pick a copy of that free ebook, maybe share it with somebody that needs the information. So thank you so much for listening. Get out there, make it a great day, and be your most authentic self.
Thank you for tuning into my podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, I'd love for you to share it with someone who'd find the information useful. Please leave a review anywhere you listen to podcasts, and it'll help the information get out to others. If you're interested in seeing if we're a great fit to work together, the link is in the show notes below where you can sign up for a free consultation with me. So go make it a great day and let your authentic self shine.